Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. and Lady, it's your boy Jerm, and you are tuned into another weekly wrap up on Kinetic Aesthetic. This week we have some good news, we have some bad news, and we just have some what the hell were you thinking news. George Floyd's trial is over. They did come back with the verdict, and it was one that made a lot of people happy, and a lot of if you weren't happy about that man being convicted, I don't know what to tell you. You probably just don't like other people of other colors and races and all that. And yeah, fuck you. But that was that. And we also had the Las Vegas Raiders with the most tone deaf tweet I can think of over the entire decade. I really think this one's gonna hold up. I can't think of one that's stupid, that's just out of bounds. And we also have, unfortunately, another police shooting with Ma'Khia Bryant. It's another one. I wish we could just say it was nothing but good news. But, it's America. So, yes, we have all that to get into. So, we're not going to waste too much time. It's your boy Jerm. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go and get into it. We actually, over the past couple episodes, I've been having to, start off by just going over the latest police shooting or just random act of gun violence in this country and trying to give you my take on that. But luckily, this week, we're able to start off with something a little more positive. They actually were able to convict. They had George Floyd's trial already. You've probably heard about it already. And they were able to convict George Kavanaugh for the murder. I really don't understand why this was not an open and shut case. I mean, I get it. He's a cop, so I guess the police unions, they're going to fight their asses off. But this was the most clear-cut one. He had his knee on the man's neck for over 5 minutes. I think it was close to 9 or 10. And I'm just really happy that they were able to just see and do what needed to be done. You go from Rodney King, you go to the justice system. It seems to never work when we really need it to work, or when the outcome that is really the one that everyone should be rooting for is the one that we get. We don't normally get that. OJ, I know that's a real race-related case. I know some people may feel, I'm a black guy that's saying OJ, but no. OJ, that's another one. He should have been guilty. Fucking Casey Anthony should have been guilty. Trayvon Martin should have been guilty. These are situations and cases where we see the justice system fail us as a people, not just as a race. We just see it fail us as a society. And I got to give a big shout out to all those jurors in Minneapolis. I hope it doesn't have to do with the fact that DeAndre Wright had just gotten shot and they didn't want to deal with that type of anger, but we needed them to get the conviction on this one. This was one that was long overdue. I know people are just like, I'm happy so we don't have to deal with any riots or anything, but no, just be happy that justice was served. That is all we can ask for. This is a drop in the bucket. This is going to be, we need to see this happen a lot more often, just be more consistent, but I'm all for being happy for this. Celebrate, be happy. Accountability was achieved. That's all that we want. That's all that we ask for. Like I said, it's a long road from here, but thankfully, finally, a little bit of accountability was achieved. This guy is going to get what he has coming to him. Thank you. That's all we can ask. Unfortunately, as much as I want to just be happy for George Floyd's verdict and the results and everything and just getting that accountability, the forces that be, the powers that be, make it very, very hard. The day the verdict came in on 420, right as everyone is starting to get real, excited and happy about it, the Las Vegas Raiders, for some damn reason, thought it would be a good idea to tweet, "I can breathe." They were definitely trying to, show their support for the verdict and accountability and everything, but they just chose to do so in one of the most tone deaf, just stupid ways I've really ever seen. I never understand how these people, how these businesses, how these organizations can have so many people on their chain of command who have to okay something before it becomes public like this, and yet somehow everybody looked at this and was just like, oh, this is fine. It's tone deaf. It's just real disrespectful. I looked at it for the first time and I was like, that couldn't be real. There's no way they really tweeted this. It was just random to think that a professional sports team would think that this would be the right move, especially in the NFL. I don't know, man. Mark Davis, he's never come off as the most, intelligent owner. He really, I feel like he just inherited it all from his dad. Al Davis, legend, NFL legend. He wasn't all there. Sometimes it felt like to me, but I don't think he would have done this. Shout out to the Raiders for giving the Bears Khalil Mack, but yeah, I don't know how to really give them a pass on this one. It was dumb. I don't wish them any ill will. I like a couple of their players. Derek Carr, I hope we can get him on the Bears. Josh Jacobs, still a great running back. But seriously, how the hell do you tweet that? I can breathe. I don't know, y'all. That one was a wild one to me. Maybe it was 420, so maybe somebody their social media intern was smoking some of that good sticky, because I really don't know why you looked at that and thought that was the one. But yeah, they did it. They got some backlash for it. Big shout out to LeBron for using his platform to make sure that they got called stupid on a worldwide scale, because they definitely deserved it on that one. But yeah, just don't. Sometimes if you really don't know the right thing to say, sometimes it's best to just shut up and not say anything at all, because this one was just unnecessary. So yeah, Las Vegas Raiders fans, I feel bad for y'all, because y'all don't deserve this type of, y'all don't deserve to just see y'all team get shitted on for a reason that's not even related to the field. So yeah, Mark Davis, take this L. Okay, remember how I said I was happy that this week I had some happy news to report? I still have some bad news. Well, unfortunately, the police did there was another police shooting this week, and it ended up being a 16-year-old black young girl who, as it turns out, was the one who had called the police in the first place. Yeah, called the police, ends up getting killed by him. Ain't that crazy? As you know, or as you may not know, on Tuesday, Ma'Khia Bryant, that was her name, please remember her name, she was shot and killed by a police officer who she had ended up calling to try to help her. She was getting jumped. She was in some type of altercation with a couple other young girls at her foster home, and it just, in a matter of seconds, it just all went to shit that quickly. And again, I'm tired of having to constantly talk about these, but we're gonna keep having to, because these things just keep happening. It's tiring. It's sad. It's a young girl. You know, as a black man, you already know and you understand. We're seen as the big scary aggressors, but I just be wondering sometimes, why the women? I don't understand it. It's scary, as someone who has nieces, to have to think about that. You're gonna have to teach them that they can't get loud as quickly as other girls might want to get loud in situations. They're gonna have to maybe just react differently, and it's sad. We're still at that point. We're not there yet to where everybody can just be normal and understand each other. Because shit, even as we are constantly reminded, people in authority, people who have the power to just have these guns and shoot people and usually get away with it. This is how it happens. It was just a crazy situation. The officer, his name was Nicholas Reardon. He pulls up. He had his. I think that's part of the problem. All these officers, they pull up to these situations, I feel like, having their hand on their gun already, and I understand that. I almost feel like you can't really tell them not to, because I'm not gonna try to lie. Like, it's a crazy job, and it's because it's a crazy world, but it's just the readiness to it that always kills me. So he pulls up. They're in the middle of the fight and everything. She's lunging at somebody. She's got the knife in her hands, and then next thing you know, he's just firing. He fires 4 shots into her, and she's down. And it's really it ain't it it's not pretty. These situations, they're never as cut and dry as the media would like you to believe they are. Most of the time, you have to really just not most of the time. There are times when you have to really look at them and you have to come to your own conclusion. I'm of the opinion, you really, I don't understand why you have to have your gun out that quickly. Like, why don't you have why are they more ready to pull out their actual gun than they are to pull out their taser? Why are they mistaking their taser for their real gun? What's really going on? Like, again, this is stuff that I feel like we're talking about every week, every day. There's another situation, there's another time, there's another conversation that has to be had, and it gets tiring, but it is necessary, because I can't really say if I can give the proper answer on this one. This is one of those murky, just not cut and dry ones where it was just completely brutal, like George Floyd. All I know is I don't think that 16-year-old girl deserved to get shot like that. I don't believe that was the way her life should have ended. I don't believe that there was no other way to take her down. I really think another big part of the blame needs to go on these adults that just sort of stand around as these things happen. I know it's dangerous. I know you never know what can happen, but sometimes, man, those are a whole bunch of just girls. Just somebody has to jump in there and grab one of them and hold them or something. It's too young for a kid to lose her life like that. There's so much more to give. There's so much more to the story for them, and to just see it end like that is just it gets real frustrating to just continuously see, especially with people of color. The life expectancy it feels like it's so much lower for us sometimes, and you really just hate to see it. It isn't just stuck to a city. It isn't just stuck to any one place or one area. It's just it's worldwide. It's just a global thing. People of color, and we got to do better. We need police reform. I'm gonna say it again. I'll say it a million times later, and I'll say it a million more after that. We need to do better. We need to get these officers trained better, because they should be helping the community, not terrorizing it. You shouldn't feel fearful like, damn, now I might be the one that gets killed if I don't act right when you call the police. But that's the Ma'Khia Bryant story. Hopefully that officer is at least just he needs to get some type of reprimandment. He needs to get reprimanded somehow. That's a better way to say that. But yeah. Rest in peace to that girl. Rest in peace to all the people that have been unjustly killed by these police officers this year, and hopefully we can just start working on improving that to where it gets to 0. That is the news for this week, everybody. It has been another up and down week. We had some real highs. We were able to see some we hope landmark, groundbreaking stuff happen this week with the convictions, with the accountability, but we still saw more of the same. It's the never-ending story of life. The battle always goes on. You have to always continue the fight. It's never going to be over or won just that quickly. It's always going to take a whole bunch of work. Once again, condolences to the Floyd family. I'm happy for them. Happy they were able to get some justice. Happy Happy for just people all over the country and in the world, so we can at least see some accountability, understand that it is possible that the system can work. I know we want to believe that it's not, that it's always going to be rigged against us, and I believe currently the way it's set up it is, but I really think that it is possible for us to just take the system over. It just takes a lot of coordination, working together, and unity, and just being on the same wavelength. So always keep that in mind, y'all. Aesthetic, it's your boy Jerm. Thanks again for listening. If you liked what you heard, go ahead and give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at Jermster. On Twitter with 1_, on Instagram with 3. Also be sure to like and follow on whatever listening platform you're using to hear me out. And other than that, have a great and wonderful rest of your day.